Hello everybody, welcome to the show Meet the Artist. My name is Emma and I have the honor to meet the most talented singer, songwriter and musician in US. We are recording those episodes here in Nashville, and today I have a Grammy-nominated songwriter and producer. He moved to Nashville 5 years ago and his name is Keith Hetrick. Yeah,
That's awesome.
welcome.
Yeah, this is a good spot.
Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's all good.
You have such an impressive journey, and I'm really happy that we're going to talk about it. We're going to share some music that you produced and you wrote, and now you are in Nashville. You are from
So yeah, I'm originally
California.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm one of the problem, as they say. I'm part of the problem. Like all these Californians are coming in here.
All these Californians.
All these Californians. But to be fair, to my credit, we were here before that big wave of people. But, we moved here a little before the pandemic. So that was kind of the sweet spot. That was right before everything went crazy, everything went nuts. And so we got a house, and now married, we have a kid, he got 2 dogs. It's crazy.
Aww.
Yeah. I'm happy.
What kind of dogs do you have?
Beagles. They're the loudest things on the planet.
I love big. That's
like
so
it.
sweet stuff. 2 dogs, 1 kid, and
2 dogs, 1 kid.
house and everything. What made you decide to make that move, like to create your family here instead of continue being in Los Angeles? You're in a Los Angeles area.
Yeah, LA area.
Around.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got started in the music game in LA.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. So it's kind of like a two-sided thing, like 2 parts to that answer, basically. They kind of all stem from the same place, which it was my then girlfriend, now wife, Maria. We came out here like a year or 2 before we moved. Some of her family kind of came down. We all kind of met. We were like, let's just kind of take a break. It was getting kind of crazy, dealing with a lot of, stressful situations in LA with a lot of people, with a lot of ego. So she's like, hey, I got family that's going down to Nashville. Let's go. Let's meet up with them. Let's kind of take a breather.
Right.
It's just crazy. So we went, and immediately we're like, this pace, it was weird for me because I'm so high octane. It's still harder for me to settle, but especially back then when I'm 1,000 RPM, LA is very go, 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 go. There's never let off the gas. So we came out here, and then when I tried to kind of like settle back and kind of calm down, it was one of the places that it was easier for me to do that. And then out of nowhere, she's like, hey, do you want to move here? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. That's all it took to convince us. She basically just brought it up, asked me, and I was like, yeah. And then we go back and just start looking up U-Hauls, start looking up apartments, start doing this, and like a couple months later, we moved.
I think there was also a good decision 2019 because I think COVID was really bad in California. So everybody else started moving after that.
You ain't kidding.
So you did the move before.
Yeah, we did it before all
everybody else started doing it.
Yeah.
I think there was a good decision, especially for settle down.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It was so like on the business side, it was a great idea. And on the personal side, it was the best idea.
So you grew up in California.
Yep.
Huntington Beach.
So I was born in Orange Hospital in Anaheim. Anaheim. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that whole area, it was ran by the cartel. I remember specifically going to one of the houses that we would go to all the time, and we were allowed in 2 rooms. We were allowed to, go in the living room area, play your little video game, never do your thing, and then, you can go to the bathroom or whatever. If you need water, someone will get it for you. Just stay here, you know what I mean? And then I realized later that, like I said, there was a lot of stuff happening in that whole area. So they got rid of that spot in Anaheim. They got rid of that house to go move into the Huntington one. Just because I was coming of age, and I would have 100% fallen into that. Just because of the people I was around.
Where were you when you moved?
About however old you are in 5th grade, so maybe 11, maybe around 10 or 11. So whatever that age was.
So that's a lot of years.
It's a lot of years.
All your childhood.
Yeah, and then it wasn't up until recently when I kind of was starting to think about it. I'm like, I definitely remember a lot of experiences that happened. Like, I'm like, I see why they did it. I see why they got us out. Specifically me. Like, I was hanging around, like, because you have no idea. You're just like a little kid. Oh, you know.
Yeah, you have no idea. Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, so I'm the oldest. There's 2 more brothers and then a sister.
Okay.
So they grew up mostly in Huntington, right? And so like I said, I'm 10 or 11 or whatever in Anaheim. I remember being in a school bus, and then the next thing I know, I'm really upset because I want to get pizza, so something dumb. You know what I mean? I then also remember now that I'm like, oh, that school bus got shot up. There's little like bullet holes and stuff in the bus, like 2 seats in front of me. I remember all this. That's crazy how that happened, and that's just whoosh, in the vault. And it wasn't up until recently. Oh, what's
your
this?
Memory.
I'm remembering it now. What I remember up until recently of that event was being annoyed that I wanted Pizza Hut because there was a Pizza Hut right there. That's what I remember. That's what I remember. You know what I mean? Because you're a kid. I'm like, I'm hungry. I want to go home. There's a Pizza Hut. And then now that I'm older, I'm like, bro, the bus just got shot up.
You almost died.
The bus got shot up and you're complaining because you want pizza? Bro, What are you doing? You know what I mean? So, like, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I see why they moved us out, you know, because it was just a bunch of stuff happening.
I guess you didn't realize it.
I didn't realize it. That's what I'm saying. I didn't realize it.
After thinking about this, I was like, okay.
That's what that was.
Yes.
Like, that's what that was.
You realize it later.
Yes.
Oh.
Because when you're in the moment, you're just like, that's weird. What are they doing? You know what I mean? You don't think about it. But it's the mind is a funny thing. How it can do that.
So, okay, you're moving
from Anaheim to Huntington Beach.
11 years old.
Yeah.
Did you start music before or after?
I was kind of always around it.
Okay.
You know, so
how were you around it?
Church.
Oh, you were going to the church.
Yeah. So it was a little bit of that. I had I have family that was kind of into it. So my mom, she won't. You know, I don't know if she's tone deaf or what, you know, but she'll sing stuff. She's just kind of doing stuff. Okay. You know what I mean? My grandma, she's more kind of tuned into that, like singing like little lullabies and all this kind of stuff. Cool. I remember it was a lot of church. There's a lot of family, kind of like just stuff softly, kind of putting on, you know, this song and then this song and this record and this record and this record. So I was exposed to it, but I didn't really take it seriously. Probably until about high school. But I was always around it, I think.
When did you start playing keyboards and piano?
Keyboard? That wasn't until high school.
Okay, so the high school
that's when I started taking
learning keyboards. And what was the style? Was it classical, jazz? Because I've seen that you have some knowledge about that.
Yeah, in Huntington Beach, when we were out there, the high school I went to was this thing called the Academy for the Performing Arts. So basically, it was like a performance arts high school. That's basically what it was. You go there and you focus on this and this and this. That was pretty much all like musical theater stuff, like all Broadway, and then like orchestral pieces and classical pieces, because there's nuance between them. It's like you could have like an orchestral piece not necessarily be classical, and then a lot of the classical people beef because there's different eras of classical. You know what I mean? You have like the Romantic era, and then you have, you know, the Baroque. All of these people just find reasons to fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
They got no problems with that. So it was a lot of that. And then I was in jazz band too. I was in the drum line. I was in marching band. And I think my first paid gig ever, though, it was, do you know this instrument called French horn?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was the main instrument that I was playing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so my first professional gig where I got like money, and it was for a musical. I think it was either Evita or Man of La Mancha, I forget. It was one of those like very dramatic musicals, you know, and that type of stuff for me. No disrespect, it's really boring.
Okay.
It's very dramatic.
Right.
It's like telenovela stuff. It's very dramatic. It's like it's over the top, and I'm like, that's just, it's not my thing.
So it was classical.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was more. I see it more as like kind of. It was more technical leaning. Because like there's a lot of sight reading, there's a lot of this and this and this. There's not a lot of like just go with the flow. You get that with jazz for sure, but there's definitely a subset in jazz where there's just as snobby in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yes,
They're just as snobby, And it's like, okay, whatever.
I laughed at you saying that.
You know what I mean? It's like, just calm down, bro. Nobody cares about your 2.5 and your this. It's like, I get it, but also calm down.
Have you noticed a lot of times classical musicians are snobby and sometimes
they're in different ways?
Yeah, but with other, because I'm a person that I like every style.
Of course, yeah.
And I also want in the future to put every style in my songs because I feel like music is one.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't understand people that they're judging other styles. It's like, people, music is one.
Yeah. Well,
it's okay.
It can be. Well, and I think this is the thing. That's true, and people just they want to fight. They want to fight. You know what I mean? It's just we're tribal by nature, and so it's like, oh, this isn't the true version of this, and then this. Oh, then when they did this, and this. It's like nobody cares, bro. Like the way I see it, especially because what I do now, like in the studio work and stuff, it's like you can sit down and you can just shred. You can go off, and nobody cares. From a certain level, you commend and respect and are in awe of the fluency. Right. It's like they're so technical and so proficient that it's like that's phenomenal, but also nobody can connect with it. It's like the talent is the show and not the song. Right. Does that make sense? It's like people are going to see how good you are versus going to feel something for themselves. To me, that was always the classical thing. The same type of mentality of people that are like that for classical that are the same way with like R&B and like with country. It's like, oh, that's not real country. Oh, that's not real this. That's not real. It's like, maybe, but who cares? Even if it's not. You know what I mean? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Like, if you connect with it, then you connect with it. And that's like that's like the AI discussion, right? It's like, is AI raises a lot of awkward questions. Is it going to replace this? Is it going to do this? It's more, almost, we're having to more ask higher level, more existential, more open-ended, harder to answer questions. Like, what is art? Does it need to be human to be art? Does it need to convey an emotion? Does it need to be human to convey an emotion? Like, it's a hard thing to answer, right? It's like, because you can do something that you're like, oh, that's great. I have a feeling towards it. And then if it's made by a computer, does that mean your feeling is invalid? I don't think so. So what's the antidote to that? What's the answer to that? What do you do then with that outcome, right? So the people that are super snobby, they're going to, I think, unironically be more aligned with that. Whereas, like, I'm so optimistic because that space of everybody mix everything up that you're speaking on, that's going to be the exact antidote because it's more human. Because you can't AI that. Like the way I describe, because I know
exactly, you cannot AI that.
You can't AI.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. You can't do that. It's like you can replicate, you can mimic human behavior, but we're random. We're crazy. Right. The way I describe it, it's like how code works, or like algorithms. It's like it's basically like a list. It's like do this and then this and then this and then this and then this. A computer will do that faster than anyone ever. You're not going to beat that. But where the fact that we're wacky, crazy people. That's the superpower, because if you give a computer a list of 50 things to do, start one and at 50, you give a human that same list, ADD is going to kick in, and at item number 7, they're going to go over here, and then they're going to go over here, then they're going to go over here, and then next thing you know, they're so far from the original thing that no prompt would ever naturally allow itself to go there, because it's following instructions. We're bad at that.
We're bad.
And that's...
Not everybody. Some people are very good at following instructions. That's what I'm saying.
But I think the creative spirit, it's like, not don't tell me what to do, but it's very kind of like flow with the, like feel the moment, go with the energy, all this kind of stuff. And you're like, oh, I'm being pulled this way. I'm doing this and then this and then this. And then you look, because some of my favorite records and some of the favorite stuff I've ever been a part of, it's something that I couldn't do myself. If that makes sense. When I collaborate with people, I'm like, I'll do something, and then boom, 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 and then someone will say something, or someone will have an idea, and you're like, that's crazy. Let's try that. And then you take this, and then you take it over here, boom, 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 and then someone else will say something, and then they'll take it over here, and then when you're done and you look at it, like none of us could do this by ourselves.
Which one was that? Okay.
I think the biggest example of that, I think maybe blessed for Charlie Wilson. Like that production, like 90% of it was done in like 10 minutes. I was working at a Korean barbecue place at the time, so I was a server. So I was getting ready for my shifts, and then like some of the dudes and stuff were hitting me. They're like, "Hey, we're about to go to the studio to kind of lay some ideas, blah blah blah, blah. Shoot something over." I'm like, "All right, whatever. Okay, just lay something down. Okay, first instinct, boom. Okay, look for the sound. Okay, this thing, boom, boom, boom. Just everything is first instinct. I'm like, didn't have chance to really try anything else out. This just had no idea what I was going to do before going into it. So I just laid everything down. I'm like, all right, cool, bet, sounds good. Send it to them. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. They hit me up afterwards. Hey, check out what we did. Blah, 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 blah. There was some moments where I'm like, okay, cool. Parts of that hook are crazy. Everything else is kind of garbage. Whatever. But they get it. You send it, and then I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to do that. Okay, well, let's get in. Okay, like I just wrapped up. Let me swing by. Then we go in. Me and the two other guys. And there was a bunch of other people that hopped on later. But it's like the core of the record was like me and two other people.
Who was singing those songs? Who was saying I like it or not?
It was all of us, the co-writers. So
the co-writers decided, not the singer.
No, so with Charlie, what he does...
Because that was for Charlie Wilson.
It's for Charlie Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm blessed. Yeah. So he's managed by P Music Group.
Right.
Who's currently my management as well. But they have Michael Perrin and they have Charlie's wife, Maheen. And she's kind of the ear.
Oh, interesting.
So he relies on her a lot. So I also think one of the main reasons that song specifically did so well is that we tapped into Charlie's history of drug abuse. We tapped into that aspect of him where he had this, like, was on top of the mountain and then was all the way down and then had to deal with it and overcome. And it's like, now I'm here. Like, ask me how I'm doing. I'm blessed. Like that's why I think it was so powerful, because the people who knew him and loved him, they resonated and connected with that, because it's like, damn, like if he can go through all that he went through and can still come out the other side saying, ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed. That's powerful.
Right.
That's powerful. And so for me to be a part of that is crazy. It was not, it's crazy. So that's why I think that one specifically did that well, and then obviously the musicality aspect and it's a quality song and everything on top of it. I think that helps, but that was one of those moments where it was more than just the music, if that makes sense. It was a message. It was speaking to a whole group of people. You know what I mean? So
it's also a message that God can help you. Yeah. Is that correct?
I mean, whatever you choose to believe, like, obviously, and that's the thing. It's like, that's the whole point. It's like, even if you don't, you can still be blessed, right? You know what I mean? Okay. Whatever you want to call it. It's just like, man, he's like, I'm still here. I'm still fighting. I'm still breathing.
So you were three people.
Yeah, there was the thing.
Creating that song and co-writing.
The core of it. Yeah, that was the core.
The core. What did you write most? Lyrics, melody?
So how I like doing it, it's not more so this person does this and then you do this and do this. It's more like I call it and describe it like keeping the beach ball in the air, right? It's like, hey, boom, you have something. Okay, boom, you have something. Boom, boom, boom. You kind of like, how about this? How about this? How about this? How about this? And then at the end of it, you're like, dang, okay. Like, I was thinking this, but because you said that steered what I was saying into, like, we were just going through this exact kind of concept last night with this artist I'm working with out here. Where it's like somebody had an idea, and then based off of what they said with that idea, somebody said something, and then I said something, and then we're like, what if it could be both? What if you're saying this, it then goes to this, and then goes here, and then from there, then we go to the resolution. You know what I mean? It's more like that. At least that's how. Like, for a lot of the things that I've done, that's kind of what's been the case. So
you wrote the song in 2017, I'm Blessed.
Sure, yeah. I think
it got number one on the top
R&B chart, yeah.
R&B charts, and also in markets like Greek, Japanese, Korean, like it's Chinese.
That's crazy.
Other markets all around the world.
That's crazy.
One of the top 5. But it's not the first succeed song that you wrote with Charlie, for Charlie. It was also 2014. You wrote 3 songs for his album, Forever Charlie, that he got Grammy-nominated. That's where you have the title.
That's where the Grammy nom. Okay, that's where that came from. Yeah.
Yes. So I think that's another important thing that we have to mention, except that song, which is also did very good.
Yeah.
Those 3 songs, I would like to know more about them, like the 3 songs that you included into his album.
Well, I mean, it's all kind of like the same core people at the time.
So it's the first of the second year you started producing.
So like I was doing production work and everything, before that. But Charlie, that was like the first time for me at that level. And it was...
And it went right away for Grammy-nominated.
It was great. I mean,
it was that level. When you learned that this album got Grammy-nominated, did this change your life, first of all, with having this title next to your name? Or saying,
it didn't even sink in yet. You know what I mean? When I first got the text, I was like...
Where were you?
Huh? It was like in the morning or I forget. It was either the morning or at night. I just remember being sleepy.
Okay.
And then I just remember seeing this and I was like, I didn't know what to make of it because I was like, okay, that's cool. What now?
No, that's cool. I got this
but
Grammy-nominated producer.
What I mean is okay, well, what does that mean now? Okay, so are we going to the I went straight practical. I'm like, okay, so are we going to the Grammys? What's the step? Do we need to do anything? How do we go get the how do we get the thing? The paper, this is crazy. Like you said, it doesn't happen a lot. How do you get it? You have to spend money for it.
So did you got the thing?
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
you have it?
I have it. Yeah, long story short, I did it. But it's what I'm saying is the principle of it, right? I'm like, because what your instinct was my instinct. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. What are you going to do? You get this and then, and they're just like, yeah, you could have all that. And here's the invoice. And I'm like, oh. I was like a voting member of the Grammys when I first moved out here.
How do you become a voting member?
You apply, basically. So you go to the member or the Recording Academy or something, whatever. You go to their site and there's a process for that.
Okay.
So you have to prove that you have X amount of releases and you have to prove that you're a professional.
Okay.
Basically, and it was easier for me because I literally just had the Grammy nom, and so they're like, oh yeah, of course, here's all the records. I think it's you need at least 3 within 3 years. I forget what it was. There's a specific number that you needed to hit of major releases. Because you could put out songs yourself, but they want that level. What I'm saying is so you go in and you vote and you do all this stuff. You then submit it, and then there's somebody that represents the whole Nashville chapter that gets all of those votes collectively and then goes and votes on the Nashville chapter behalf.
So you take the votes from Nashville?
So me and a bunch of all the other people who would then cast votes, that there would be one person, or there would be people or someone, whoever, would on behalf of Nashville go cast those collective votes.
Would you suggest to somebody to go to a label instead of being individual? Because also being with a label is also really hard.
Pros and cons to it.
Pros and cons, and they might sometimes use somebody's music. An artist, let's say an artist writes songs, sings, and does everything.
They're talented. Yeah.
They do everything.
Yeah.
And they sign something with a label, and the contract is actually really bad.
It's rare that it's ever actually decent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I've heard bad stories.
Most of them are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of the artists nowadays, because it's public right now, they can use CD Baby, they can use other distributions.
You don't have to go direct.
Independent, and they're trying this path, but also it's really hard to beat the label. So finally, what is the best to do? Because you're avoiding to give all the rights of your song, so you're trying, and there is 1% is one of the 100% is to become famous, because it can happen.
For sure.
Yes, it can happen. You can have you can upload TikTok videos and then you can become famous out of nowhere, or Instagram or YouTube, whatever. But it's really hard because you have to beat all those labels and all the people that are
the labels were like, oh, what's
with
the numbers?
money. And have millions that artists don't have.
The thing that labels have is the fact that they're institutions. Like you said, it's like they have the deepest pockets. They have all the relationships.
Yes.
For better or worse.
It's hard to beat, but also if you go with them, you have to be very careful of what you're signing and all the rights they're taking from your song. So I don't know which way will be best to go. It's still a question, I think, for everybody.
Yeah. Well, anything that makes you still have ownership, because it's easier. Let's put it this way: like if you, as an artist, have if you own retained rights to your master, if either through like a pseudo label or whatever it was, you're releasing things under your own brand, under your own thing. You own that thing, right? CD Baby and all this kind of stuff. Like, they don't own the master, right? So if you own your master and you do all this other kind of stuff, if a label all of a sudden is like, hey, we like you, we want to do a deal, we want to do something, blah 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 blah, whatever. You are in a better position to get a better check out of it, specifically because they'll probably come to you and they'll buy you out. They're like, hey, we like your stuff. We want to own your masters. We want to do all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But they're going to buy that out. Whereas if you do a label deal from the beginning, you've never had the right to own the master to begin with. So you doing it independently is better specifically because of that. Because there's an extra piece of leverage and an extra... not hurdle, but there's an extra thing attached to it that if a label really is interested in, that means that first off, they're motivated because they see money and that's all they care about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like if you go into it thinking, oh, I want them to like me, I want them to be my friends, like, you fucked up. If you're like, okay, let's do a deal. There's always a deal to be made. What are you proposing? And if all of a sudden you see what they're proposing and it's bullshit, you're like, absolutely not. This is crazy. And they'll be like, oh, blah, 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 whatever. This is just standard protocol. This is just, normal word, verbiage and all this other type of bullshit. But like, all right, I guess, we'll just come back when it makes sense. Walk away. Because if they want you, they'll want
try
you.
Again.
And the biggest thing is the fact that if you have the most amount of the master as possible, if and when there is an opportunity, you can have a lot more at play and you can get more upfront. You can get more money, basically. So it's like you and I do something or whatever, and it's like it's 50% or whatever it is, or if you want to do 100%, whatever the split would be, multiply that by 10. So now there's 10 songs, that much, blah, 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 blah. A label comes in, hey, we want to, like a major or a subsidiary or whatever it is, a partner, sister label, whatever it is. They make a deal. They're like, hey, as a part of the deal, we want to buy out the masters. Then you're like, okay, so instead of whatever X is, it's like you're all of a sudden going to add a lot more to that then.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more money up front. And then what are you going to do with that? You then have to figure out how you're going to phrase that in writing as to how much of that is going to apply for what. So I'm like, okay, cool. If you're going to buy out the masters, separate that from, this contingent. It's like then that's when all of that stuff kind of comes into play. It's always better to do that because I know people that have signed direct to majors and they're fucked forever because they've never had anything.
They owe them forever.
Yeah, it was like when I was 21, right out of school. So I was doing this a little bit of this. I did this audition, again trying to keep it vague without saying things. I did an audition for a big artist, big artist. I didn't wind up getting the gig, but there was someone in the audience who we did in this big auditorium. They had cameras on you and stuff because they want to see how you look on stage, if you're gonna fit what the aesthetic that they're trying to do, for that season and all this kind of stuff. So I didn't get the gig, but the guy who saw me was like, "Hey, come down." I'm like, it's again big auditorium, and there's one person in the audience. You're like, where the fuck is this voice coming from? Like this is weird. Like you get the bright lights and it's hard. How it's like it's dark with the lights and it's like I can't really see.
Yes.
You hear somebody talking. I'm like, all right. So I go down there, and then he's just like, how long you been playing? How long is this? Like, quick little thing. He's like, hey, can you come to this address tomorrow? I'm like, sure. Like, so when do I hear? I'm here for this audition. Like, you're being weird. Like, we're here for this audition, but then you're telling me to go somewhere else. So should I bring anything? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, what's? He's like, no, just bring yourself. You don't need to bring anything. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to that place. Again, I'm leaving names and everything out of it. It was big. It was a label. It was a big label. At the time, they had a bunch of stuff happening at that place. You walk in and I'm 20, 21, just fresh, right? Just fresh. I'm getting there, and then you see all the plaques. You're like, oh, this song and then this song and this song and this song. You see all. They do it on purpose, by the way. It's like you see all of this. I'm like, this is crazy. I then walk into this room with like it's a big conference room and there's papers. I'm like, oh, this is okay. So in my head, I'm thinking this is cool. I must have got the gig. I must have got because I auditioned for this artist, and then they're saying come here the next day. I'm like, all right, cool. So, all right, I think I got this gig then. All right, cool. It wasn't that at all. It was they wanted to bring me in as a producer, as like a ghost producer, essentially. Meaning, if they were like, hey, you know, you could work on this thing, you could do this, all this big shit. And I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. No way. You know, I was thinking I was coming in for this. They're like, no, this is this, and this. I'm like, well, can I, you know, I wasn't expecting any of this. Like, can I think on this? Like, can I come back to you tomorrow and stuff? And the biggest red flag went off when they were like, the deal leaves when you do. If you leave right here, that opportunity's gone.
Because they knew you're not gonna come back, so they wanted you to sign.
It's a scare tactic, yeah.
Oh my God!
And as soon as that happened,
that's crazy.
As soon as that happened, I was like, "Hey, I was here to like, I was gonna play keys for somebody. I'm not here trying to sign this deal. I got the weirdest vibe, so I just left. I didn't do it. I'm like, I'm not signing nothing. I'm not signing no paperwork. I'm not putting no names on no dotted line. But there's always somebody new. There's always somebody young. And there's always somebody who's hungry and naive enough to want it, right? So that's exactly what you were saying before. It's like if you're in the position as an independent, absolutely do as much as you can yourself.
Right.
Because then you're going to go into these kind of situations and it's like, okay, well, either they're going to have to pay their lawyers more because they're going to have to be sneaky about it, which, you know, they'll make them grumpy, but who cares? You know, but it's like you're going to be going into it with more leverage because
of course
you don't have to have these people like you. They have to do business with you.
What about the industry for films? I know that you did participated to a song that Jennifer Lopez
That's
sings
right. Yeah.
At the movie Marry Me.
Yeah. That one was a crazy one.
Is On My Way. And that is like one of the most famous artists you produced for.
That for sure.
So we cannot skip it again.
No, yeah.
It's Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, J-Lo. Yeah, exactly.
So
Jenny from the block, yeah.
I'll be really interested to learn that.
This guy Brandon that I knew from back in the day. We met through this person. I worked with a couple of his artists, and he was he's one of these guys he's plugged in with people, you know, and he hit me up. He's like, hey, I have this opportunity. I think you'd be a great fit for it. It's exactly
that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, right before COVID, so like 2019, I think.
Oh, 19.
So it didn't come out. Yeah, so I did it right before COVID hit, and then when COVID hit, it's supposed to come out that year, but then
that's why.
Yeah.
Because it came out 2021.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it was or whatever. Either 20, I forget when it was, but it came out after I did it, basically. So he hit me up and then was like, "Hey, I think you would murder this, bro. I think you're perfect. You're the perfect fit for this." I'm like, "Cool, all right, cool. Got you." It was a song. I didn't write the song, so I typically don't write, or I typically don't produce things I don't write. But it's for J-Lo, so yeah, obviously I'll do it. That's crazy, right? So they sent it over. I'm like, okay, I see what they're trying to go for. Okay, cool. So he hit me up about it on Wednesday. He sent me files on Thursday. I then spent all day Thursday night and Friday putting together this thing. Okay, you know, there's a little bit of this and this and this, and it's filmed, so you have to think differently.
Exactly.
So it's not just here's your typical copy-paste like pop song. Like, oh, this. So, and the song was written that way too. It wasn't written, traditionally. And that's why it worked, and that's why cool. And it lended itself to, the film in that way. So, like I said, got it Thursday, all Thursday night, and all day Friday, spent piecing it together. Shot it over to Brandon. He hits me on Saturday, was like, hey, just so you know, if you get a call from Jen, it's not a prank.
Jen?
Jennifer. J-Lo.
Jennifer Lopez. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he said. If you get a call from Jen, just know it's not a prank. Mm-hmm. It's real. And I was like, bro, I'm at a photo shoot right now. What? He's like, yeah, I'm just letting you know. I'm just putting it out there. Just don't hang up on her. I'm like, okay. That's what he said. He's like, just don't hang up on her. And I was like, okay, all right. So I'm like, I gotta wrap up this shoot. This is great. So I wrapped that up, and then just like you got like a crush or something. I'm just staring at my phone, just like. I'm like, is she gonna do it? Is she gonna do it? Is she gonna do it? She wind up never. She never called. She never called. So okay. there's no cool ending with that. So Sunday then comes. Obviously, there's no call, but I get a message from the then president of Universal Films saying, "Hey, you know, and then I got looped into their team, and then Monday happens. They're like, "Can you make a quick tweak? Can you do this quick little tweak, whatever?" I'm like, "All right, cool, sounds good." Did it? Turned it in. Tuesday, they sent paperwork. So
crazy.
Less than a week of getting it and turning it in, there was papers. They wanted it immediately. And like that's what I'm saying. If people want something, they want something. They're not gonna, especially at that level.
So what did you do to that song?
I did the track.
So they did the whole track.
I did all the music. I produced it.
The music.
The music, yeah.
You produced it, not the lyrics.
Not that one, not the lyrics. No.
Okay.
I think that was.
So you did the music, but also I feel like for film industry is really important how fast you turn it over, because they are always really
They're on
fast.
top of it. Yeah.
So if they have a movie, they say, okay, you have 1 week to write music.
Yeah, we got to do this now.
So I know composers that they write music for movies. It was a song, but in general, they are like 15 hours per day, 16 hours, because you have some really strict deadlines.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that maybe they liked about you, that you send it like in 2 days.
I was doing it that fast because I was excited, not for any other reason. Right. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, I'm gonna be one of the like. No, I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. It was coming more from that energy, you know. But maybe that's why. But it was crazy. And then it was also annoying because it's like with anything, it's just you can go into so much stuff. It's like. My dude Clarence speaks on this perfectly because he does a lot of like film stuff. He has a lot of friends who do film and like sings and TV and like a lot of that kind of stuff. And
but you do also sings. You have.
I do. Yeah.
You have your music featured on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
You had for ads like.
No, Pepsi Cola.
Pepsi Cola. Yeah. What others?
Kit Kat was another big one because they did. It was either I can't remember if it was the Pepsi or the Kit Kat one. It was this. Group that Simon Fuller put together. He wanted to do the K-pop thing, you know, like how K-pop they have like this character. They're all characters, so it's like you have the unit. That's what you have the group, and then like you have the big group, and then you have units of the group. So it's like if you have 6 people or 7 people, they'll break into smaller units of that main group and then do their own thing, and it's like. It's very smart how they did it. They found a way to make a lot of things from one thing. It's very smart. So what Simon Fuller was doing is like, I'm going to take that concept of K-pop and expand it to the rest of the world. So instead of just Korea, like I'm going to have a member from Canada. I'm going to have a member from Brazil. I'm going to have someone from Mexico. I'm going to have somebody from like Russia, and like I'm going to have someone from like the Ivory Coast. I'm going to have, you know what I mean? Like all over the place, like the Middle East and was it Lebanon or I forget where it was. But like just get a bunch of people from all over, put them in one big group, and then still have the ability to do like subunits in between them and kind of mix and match, and like the audience is going to love it. Because they're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And what I give Simon Fuller the most amount of credit for the business strategy about it, because I mean Simon Fuller was responsible for like, you know, what's the big one, like Spice Girls and like a bunch of stuff like that. So big high level shit. Instead of investing in a specific artist, he invested in the brand. So he's like, I'm going to have Now United be the brand, and then as they kind of age up and, you know, age out essentially, have a new generation of Now United come in. So it's like the brand itself is the show, not the artist. It's really, he abstracted that out of it. It's really, really fucking smart, actually. It's really, really smart. So he could still, like I said, he could still have subunits and still kind of do this, and he could have the big reunion things, like, oh, here's, you know, Now United, you know, first generation doing stuff with like the third generation. We're all on stage together. Ooh, man, the world's great and it's amazing, isn't it? Like that kind of stuff. So that group, now united, that was where the big things happened. So yeah, from that, 19 Entertainment with American Idol, because like they still like Simon Folder started American Idol.
But you're going to you performed at American Idol for
for my friend Drew. So
your friend Drew, that she was I think one of the finalists.
Yeah. So Drew's a sweetheart. I love her. She's the best. Good friend, homie, all that good stuff. Yeah, she for her Nashville audition asked me to play keys for her as a compliment, and I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. Let's do it. That'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we did our thing, and she wound up going pretty far.
Right now,
that's
here.
What I'm saying. Yeah, like exactly.
So what are your goals now? What are you doing now? I want to come to the present, so we can.
I understand. Yeah.
We can wrap.
To me, that's where.
Except of having a wonderful family with two wonderful dogs.
Professionally, you're saying. Yeah.
Professionally.
So professionally, yeah, what you're thinking. So yeah, no, I'm working with awesome people now.
You're still producing.
Oh yeah.
You
so I literally was producing and writing last night. You know what I mean? Like with this guy. Shout out Bree. We did it. We're doing a bunch of stuff. I believe in him. Like I said, the way I describe it is, I've been very fortunate to work with very high level people.
Yes.
And like I put him up there against anybody. I put him up there. He's a good dude. He comes from some shit, and like I want to see him win because he's a good person, man. And so like to have somebody who's like a good person who's at that level, who has what it takes, like to see them at the highest level, man, that's beautiful. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So like that, like of all the things that I'm involved in right now, that's the thing I'm the most excited about because it's different. It's
to deal with good souls, good people
that are stupid talented,
yes.
that are just like phenomenal at what they do, and like we can all collaborate. It's like you get to do we have space for you to do what you do, space for you to do what you do, space for me to do what I do. Like there's. And everybody is just like, we just want to do the dopest shit, the best shit, something that when people hear it, are like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's different. I haven't heard that before. Like, it ties into the AI thing. It's like something that you can't just prompt, something that you can't just, do this and this and this, like the human element. Yes. Like all of the stuff we do now, like I don't quantize, I don't do it. Everything's all just live. It's all just boom, 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 boom. It's like, if it's off, all right, cool. Like when he's cutting vocals, if he's wearing a chain or whatever, and you hear, cool, sounds good. It's human. It's real.
It's human. It's human. That's right.
Yeah, and like he gets that, and everyone else involved gets that, and that to me, I'm more about looking to the future. Like everybody's got a past, right? And it's like, and I don't even see it as bad. I don't see it as even ever. I mean, it could be super doomer sounding, of like what we were talking about, but it's not. To me, it's more coming to terms of like the reality. It's like, okay, this happened. The game is like this. Now knowing that people like this exist and that the game is set up this way, what is your move? What are you going to do now? It's like, okay, you approach it smart. You be careful, you be slow, you be intentional, you be deliberate, right? It's like, okay, now, like I said, just moving forward with that kind of mindset, it's like, it's more motivating and more optimistic and, than it is anything.
Yes, and I'm glad that you're focusing on the good characters, and
yeah.
I think also that's the most important thing.
Yeah, there's more. There is so much good out there. The way I see it, not to interrupt, but I am interrupting.
No.
But it's like I literally was having this conversation because there is good people, and what it is that when you find your people, you kind of you become a pod,
right.
And no one else can get in. So there's all these pockets of good people that are there, and they do exist, and everywhere else in this Wild West are the other type. So if you don't have that core yet, you're going to come across like the Wild West types that are going to have only their own intentions, only they won't care about you at all. And that's you don't have to be scared about it, but you have to go into it, be like, okay, we're going to battle today. All right, I know that. You know what to expect. right? And then when you find your pod, you're like, let's lock in. Let's do it.
Look, so we can deal with anything.
Yeah, so we're good. Yeah.
Out there, it's a hard word. It's a hard. No, how should I say?
Cold world.
Cold.
Yeah.
I don't know. Life is hard.
It is. What do they say? Life's a bitch and then you die.
What?
That's a lyric. Life's a bitch and then you die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's hard.
Yeah.
I feel like the same as family is this chorus, the same as you said, finding your people.
Yeah, when you find your people, man, like that's everything.
You want to work with, and you're like a team.
Yeah.
So you're in Nashville now. You're open to do productions or write songs.
Yeah.
Or play a gig.
Yeah.
So whoever wants to have a song produced.
Look at this promo. I appreciate that.
And I will do my accent because that works better. I do that always.
That's why I do that always. I like the little.
Yeah, I use my accent for promotion.
I like that. That's like, hey, you know what? I mean.
Yeah, I will have your social media on the info so they can shoot you a message and they can, they can tell you, come and play with us, but only if you have good vibes. If you don't, stay away from that video and from that channel.
She's out here with the filter. She's just like, nope. That's funny.
We only do good vibes.
That's good. Yeah. You can kind of tell people's intentions, luckily. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for supporting me with being here. And I learned a lot from our conversation. I've learned a lot. Okay. I don't know about the audience, but...
Well, to be fair, I was talking to you. I was, you know what I'm saying?
I know, but I did learn a lot.
Now,
That was very interesting for me.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, I am from a different country. I'm not into this world. I'm an artist, and I try, to write music, and it's really helpful to learn all those stuff.
If you do it right, it's beautiful.
I'm optimist. I feel like
100%.
I feel like if you have a good soul, good energy, finally you will attract good people and you will be surrounded from good people.
I resonate with that.
And that's what I want. I want my audience to be good people. So all you good people, please write a comment, say your opinion, subscribe,
talk all
and
that shit.
like.
Talk all that shit.
Follow Keith on the social media and share your music if you want on the comments. Thank you so much for listening, all those podcasts, for listening, Keith. Thank you for sharing all those informations. You're great. You're playing great. I mean, we will do another episode that you're going to perform.
That's fine. Yeah.
And maybe I sing whatever.
That's fine.
And good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Say goodbye to our friends. Thank you, guys.